Delights us to see so many people gathered here today. So many participants have traveled long distances, and it only reminds us how important our work here is. Our conference is spread over 2 days with workshops and panel discussions catering to both Scilab beginners as well as advanced users. We hope to see active participation from everyone gathered here. Over the next 2 days, if you have any doubts regarding Scilab, please approach any of our Scilab team members. We are here to help you. Now, before I hand over the stage to the professors, on behalf of the Scilab team, I would like to say once more, welcome. Thank you for coming.
So I invite Professor Shiv Prasad, Professor Prabhu Ramachandran, and Professor Moudgalya to join me. So we are really delighted to have all of you here. My name is Kannan Moudgalya. I am one of the investigators, almost said instigators, investigators of this open source effort from IIT Bombay. So the main reason for holding this conference is to bring the experts, Scilab users from different parts of the country, to bring as many people as possible and to start the discussion process. That is the reason. So we have with us, well, actually, we thought we would get on to the Scilab work as quickly as possible. So we scheduled only a small inaugural session where we thought that you could meet some other people behind this activity. So we have with us Professor Shiv Prasad, former director of CFIPRA, Indo-French Joint Activity Center for promoting research between India and France. And then he is one of the friends and of this activity. So he is also professor of physics. He used to be the dean academic programs. I would first welcome him. I would want him to say a few words on this.
Thanks, Professor Moudgalya. It's a pleasure for me to be here. Though, let me be honest, I am not really a Scilab user. I am an experimentalist, so I don't neither use MATLAB nor Scilab. But I know that Professor Moudgalya has been very much involved with the openware softwares, and it's very, very good activity, because I think the world is coming towards the openwares, and it's very important. See, I get involved in this particular thing because, you know, during the time when I was the director of Indo-French Center, we sort of initiated some of the discussions between the French scientists and the Indian scientists on the Scilab. At that time, Professor Moudgalya came about it, and then, you know, we sort of organized a workshop which was totally funded by the Indo-French Center. And in that case, you know, Professor Claude Gomez also came from the INRIA, and then, you know, a lot of discussions on how to train people. And especially one of the major problem which was facing Scilab, I would say, is that, you know, most of the professional softwares, you know, you have very good manuals, so it's very easy to get help. But in comparison to that, you know, openwares don't have that type of help. So many people who want to initiate themselves into a openware, they find it much more difficult rather than taking a professional software. It happens for any professional software. So it's very important that such activities like workshop should be organized, so that people, you know, who have little difficulty or whatever it is, they can come about and, you know, together one can solve the problems. And probably if necessary, one could write manual or write something by which, you know, a person who wants to initiate himself or herself into this activity should have no problem. Therefore, it's my real pleasure to see that there are so many people who are interested in Scilab, and I really wish Scilab a great success. Thank you.
Thank you. We have the CEO of Scilab Enterprises, Claude Gomez. I came to know the pronunciation. I was always thinking it was Gomez. Okay. So he's here, but unfortunately his flight came 4 hours late. So he's not going to join immediately, although his keynote address is there tomorrow. He's one of the people who created Scilab. He'll join us hopefully a little later, but certainly he's going to be here till tomorrow evening. We also have 2 other colleagues of mine on the stage, Professor Prabhu Ramachandran and Professor Moudgalya. So we have Professor Prabhu Ramachandran is actually the PI of this project. That is the principal investigator of the FOSSEE project, under whose umbrella Scilab is taken. Scilab work is done. So I'm going to ask Professor Prabhu Ramachandran to say a few words.
Thank you, Professor Kannan. I think it will be fair to say that even though I may be the public face of the FOSSEE project as a PI, Professor Kannan is the driving force behind all of that. Firstly, I'm very, very happy to see this conference. FOSSEE as an organization, our goal has been, not an organization, it's a project. It's an MHRD funded project, and we started about 3 years ago. And so we started about 3 years ago, and the goal basically is to try to minimize the use of commercial tools in the science and engineering education scene, especially in the graduate and postgraduate levels. So as part of this, we have several projects that we are looking at, which will help us get to this. Primary among them has always been Scilab, simply because it offers such an excellent alternative to MATLAB. We also have other initiatives in the form of OpenFOAM, CoinOR, Python, and a whole bunch of other free and open source software packages that we are trying to promote as equivalents to commercial packages, OSCAD. There are many such initiatives that have been coming out of the FOSSEE project. So it is very nice to see a conference on Scilab, primarily because it is it falls in such an important role in India. There are so many MATLAB users, and Scilab completely helps such people to innovate, develop, and move forward using Scilab. So it's very nice to see that this conference is taking shape, and I really hope that there is a conference like this every year. We have one similar for Python, which is 2 days from now, and that has been running for the last 6 years. We hope that the Scilab initiative also continues and does a great job under the excellent guidance and leadership of both Professor Kannan and Professor Moudgalya. Thank you.
So just a few minutes ago, I said that Dr. Claude Gomez may not join us because his flight was 4 hours late. He went to bed around 5. So I have a feeling probably he didn't sleep. He's here. Let's welcome Dr. Claude Gomez. And then I will ask him to say a few words. His keynote lecture is scheduled tomorrow. In fact, we have kept this in mind, that our flights come late. We didn't want him to give a talk when he is tired and so on. He has a 1 hour slot tomorrow, but I would want him to say a few words now.
Good morning. I just arrived yesterday in the night, so I think it will be okay. And it's really a pleasure for me to be here in IT Bombay. The last time was 7 years ago, I think, something like that, and it changed a lot. And if Scilab is a very long story in France, in INRIA, I was here about 7 years ago, or even 10 years ago, because there were, before that, 1 week Scilab lessons in Bhubaneswar before. It's also a very long story for India. And I'm very impressed about all the work that has been done here. And I think that there will be a presentation of that, about Scilab and everything about Scilab. And as you said, Scilab came from INRIA, that's true. Now it's a company who's in charge from INRIA, but alone, we won't be able to do something very good with Scilab. We need help from everybody in the world, and very important, help here in India. So thank you very much for everything you did and you are going to do.
I'm going to invite Professor Moudgalya to say a few words. He has a presentation also, which he will do later, but I want him to say a few words. and then we can close this session, and then we can start with presentation. Professor Madhu.
Welcome everyone. It is indeed a pleasure to see so many people now, and this is the first conference, and we expect to have every year. And the next 2 days are going to be lots of interesting activities, and more details about our project and the Scilab activities I will present in a while. Thank you.
Okay, so I think maybe we can end this session. So I want to thank all of you for joining us. Hope this experience is useful. Hope you can. Hope we can all work together to make Scilab a good and also a viable process. And I also want to thank the speakers in the on the dais for taking the time out to be with us. Thank you.